Hi everybody, this is my attempt at video 2, keeping you updated about my trip here in the Philippines. I'm going to begin with a story because I want you to hear it from me and not from Nick. Nick is the only person who I told, and after I told him, his first, response was laughing. Anything that's humiliating to me or embarrassing, he always laughs and can't wait to tell everybody. So before you hear it from him and laugh at me, I would just much rather prefer that you hear it from me when you realize how traumatic this experience was. So about 2 days ago, I'm telling Nick this story over the phone. And about 3 years ago, Nick and I were taking our honeymoon. We went to Kauai in Hawaii for our honeymoon, and one of Nick's uncles was generous and gracious enough to let us stay at his really unbelievable condo in Kauai. So we're in this, really amazing spot, and we're enjoying everything, and everything's great. And one night Nick tells me, oh, by the way, I saw a gecko, in the condo. It's not a big deal. Geckos are really harmless. They don't do anything. They just kind of run along the wall, and that's it. And I just kind of flip out. I'm like, what's a gecko? I'm like, what is that? And he just says, it's not a big deal. And, so every time I walked into a new room, I always yelled out into the room, gecko, get out of here. Just kind of giving it a warning that I was going into a room and for the gecko to leave. I never saw the gecko personally, but I always, talked bad about it and how horrible it was. And I never wanted to see a gecko in my life because I would just flip out. Well, I think the gecko from Hawaii pretty much followed me here and has resurfaced 3 years later in my life, because 2 nights ago I was trying to go to sleep. I'm getting ready for bed. I'm really tired, and I'm just about to turn off the light, and I look up and there's this huge giant gecko on the wall, and I'm just staring at it thinking, this is the same one from Hawaii. This is its revenge. It's come back to me when I'm so tired, I can't sleep, and I haven't been yelling into the room like I normally would have because I didn't know that geckos would be here. And so I grabbed the hugest bottle of Raid that I could possibly find. And I bought this at a hardware store last week, and it's really, really powerful. It could kill a small dog if I really wanted to. It's really that powerful. And then, so I have that in one hand, and I have a flip-flop, my brand new flip-flops. I grab one, and I have that in the other hand. And to top it off, I'm standing on my bed. This is my bed here. And just in case, the gecko decides to run all over my face, I put this mask on. So I'm standing on my bed with this stupid mask on, the Raid in one hand and my flip-flop in the other. I'm on top of this bed just kind of flipping out and screaming. None of my roommates, are around. They're sleeping, and my scream is kind of muffled by this because I'm like, oh my God, the gecko! So, no one hears me. I'm on my own. And I just am spraying it like you wouldn't believe. I use up 60% of the bottle. I just want this thing to die. It's not dying. So I just continue to spray it. I'm following it, all around the room. It runs really fast, by the way. So I'm just kind of screaming and scurrying and jumping up and down on this bed and spraying wherever I can. And then it finally, is, kind of dying in a corner. And I just take my flip-flop and I just close my eyes and I smash it, and this blood goes everywhere. It was absolutely traumatic. And then I had to clean it up, and I had a nightmare, and it was horrible. And so I'm telling this to Nick, and he just starts dying laughing. Oh, that's just great. I got to tell everybody about it. So, traumatic for me translates into funny for him.